Hey, y'all, and welcome to our podcast. This is How It Ends. I'm Nels,
I'm Soph.
and we're here to talk about everything from politics to conspiracy theories to pop culture. It's all here. Girl talk with a twist that you don't want to miss. So, unfortunately, we got to get into it because, y'all, we got a new president elect. Well, not new.
Yeah,
Donald Trump is our 47th president.
I was not a. You know what? How you feeling about that, Janelle?
Mm.
He's gonna sip
Well,
on your
first, girl,
wine.
I just want to say that I only got 2 hours of sleep. I'm drinking wine. Might have smoked a little something. So hopefully the words that come out of my mouth make sense. Um, I really thought that she was going to win, honestly. I really did.
Mm,
And but I should have known. It was the same feeling I got watching Hillary, where I was like, all right, I'm gonna close my eyes, and in the morning I'm gonna hope for something better. Like just the
yeah.
whole time, just hoping there'd be a different outcome, and there wasn't. Just basically, when he took Pennsylvania, I was like, it's a
Mm-hmm.
wrap. Just
Mm-hmm.
it's a wrap.
Yeah. I. Part of me knew that, like deep in my heart, I was like, I don't think so because remember how we were leading into his presidency, and then when he won, and how it was during his presidency. It was like a lot of hate, and all of these people came out of the woodworks. When you think about, everything that went down in 2020, I all of that has intensified. It hasn't gotten better. It's gotten worse. Um, I didn't watch anything. So I didn't scroll social media. I stayed off of everything. Like at
So if
five
you were
o'clock,
punking out, so if you were
I
punking out,
was
okay,
like, I
you
could
supposed to
not.
hang in there. We are battle
No,
buddies in this, and you were like,
I
absolutely
know.
not.
I punked out. I could not go through what happened in 2016. Like I don't think my heart could have taken it. So I had some Jameson and ginger around
Damn.
5 o'clock. By 9 o'clock, I was in bed. When you text me,
I did text
I
you.
was
I
like, "Yeah,
did.
this ain't good. This ain't good." And then um, I just knew. And then, Fabian was checking, my husband was checking his, uh, I could see him like around 4 a.m. because I couldn't really sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But around 4 a.m. I saw him like he was on his phone, and it was for a minute because I couldn't really sleep either. I was like, yeah, he probably went to bed thinking it's gonna be a better outcome. And
He
it wasn't.
tried, but I mean, by that time, I don't know what time it was exactly. Again, I have no concept right now.
Hmm.
But there was a time where he was already like at 266. She might have been at like 210 at the time. But either when they were waiting for like maybe 4 or 5 of the swing states.
Hmm.
However, he only needed 4 to
Yeah.
get to 270. Like that's how you knew it was a wrap. And it just wasn't even like it was close, but it was like it shouldn't have been this close. I'm trying to understand
I'm surprised it wasn't
exactly.
closer, like at least for her to be closer to, but
Look,
we don't
let me
come
tell
through
you,
for black women. We don't come through for black women.
we
Period.
don't come through for women. If Hillary couldn't get it,
That's my thinking too. If
like
Hillary can't get it,
it
she
was
Harris.
just Kamala. What she represented was just too much at the time. Like it's a woman of color who doesn't have biological children. Like it's just who's attractive because with women, like I
Hmm.
definitely think more women get more, depending on how attractive you are, you get more smoke and Jezebels and all the stuff comes flying out of people's mouths, whatever. But um yeah, I just felt like it was just too, and then Tim Walz's ass, like, oh, it was just too much. Even though Kamala tends to lean more, like, she's actually more of a centrist than really like leftist like that.
She
And
is, and
yeah,
people said she's, they're like she wasn't leftist enough, she wasn't centrist enough. Like it's like she had to be
she can't be.
everything to everyone, and
She
she
can't.
can't. Like Republicans are a monolith, right? They will vote as a block. Democrats are not. Like we do have the centrists, we do have the leftists, like we have the progressives, like she can't be all things to everyone, and I think that's the problem.
That
But
that is
but
the
now
problem.
but now you have Agent Orange in office,
But
you
here's the
know?
thing. First of all, you know who voted? I could be wrong, but you know who was out there just getting their vote on? Maybe I should say in Espanol. Because definitely the Latino men.
They always vote Republican.
The
They
Latino men, but they showed out a little bit more. And then also melanin deficient women. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear anything.
if they didn't vote for Clinton, they were not about to vote for Harris.
But here's I'm trying to understand. Our Latinx followers, please help us out. I'm trying to understand. We're trying to understand. Like, how do you think this is going to help you? I know there's an aspiration to melanin deficiency, but then there's actual reality. Like some of your primos and primas, tios and tias might end up being like ex. They're already talking about it. They're already talking about having people like deported. Just it might be some of your familia getting the
Um,
boots. I don't
yeah,
understand. He wanted to build a wall against, for Mexicans, and Mexicans were like, hell no. That was my Mexican accent. They were like, hell no, we're not paying for this wall, sir. So he
yeah.
doesn't have a great track record with immigrants either. I'm just very confused
Two
by
things.
this.
Two things they say about that. So, especially when it comes to Florida and the Florida Cubans,
Mm-hmm.
they painted Harris as like this communist, right? Like she's going to redistribute all the wealth, which she can't do that.
Yeah.
Like she's not like um so they want nothing to do with that because they fled a country that was like that. Which whatever. And the other thing is a lot of them are like heavy Catholics.
Mm.
So that abortion thing, they were stuck on that. They don't care about nothing else. Religion first. They probably send their asses off in every aspect of their life. But when it comes to getting into women's business, they care very deeply about that. They care very deeply about that abortion issue.
Yes, I'm trying to understand the compartmentalization, where it's just like, all right, this is an important issue. When, first of all, I mean, people are having sex outside of wedlock, so that's not even within, like, are you talking about that? I just don't understand.
They're getting divorced and
Like, we're
remarried.
getting divorced, we're not getting married, so now are you just encouraging women to be single mothers? I'm just, y'all, just saying, hey, it's a life is not really a argument for me, because the life that we have here on this earth we don't take care of. How many kids need to
Mhm.
be adopted? The system needs to be overall overhauled, um
Right.
just so that is conducive to having families. Like, people are stressed out, people are working, you do all this work and you have enough time to spend with your kids, because you have to go work a job so you can pay for the daycare to afford your kids that you can't even see. It's just,
Hmm.
I'm just not understanding how people think they're going to be removed from this under
I
the
don't
cloak of
know.
whiteness. I don't
And
understand.
when it comes to they're pro-life just when it comes to the unborn baby inside
Hmm.
the mother. I mean, I can respect that you're pro-life. It's still none of your business, but you could say you're pro-life. But in every other aspect, they're not, right? Children are living below the poverty means, and we don't believe in a safety net that could help them with that, right? There
Hmm.
are kids being turned away because they don't have lunch money or they've reached or they've reached like a certain deficit in their lunch balance. So now they can't get meals. And there are a lot of these red states like who they don't care. They're not going to zero that out. That's your problem. Your kid is
Hmm.
starving. That's your problem, right? But when it's my tummy, when it's in my stomach, that's somehow that's not my problem. That becomes your problem. That you got to get in my business. So I never understood the whole pro life. Like they don't even care about people
You don't.
who are here.
There's no way that you can be a proponent of Prop 2025 and want to talk about the kids. You want to shut down everything that the kids benefit from, the
Hmm.
Department of Education, federal jobs, so social service jobs as well. These are things that kids actually need, and you want to shut that down.
Hmm.
This is, how can you have a president
There's
that's
there's a
never grocery
weird
shopped?
there's a
I don't
weird
understand.
disconnect. Um,
It's the Repubs are better at branding than the
they are better at,
Democrats are.
but guess what?
They are so
Hate
better.
though, hate. I think when it comes to hate,
Mhm.
the like that emotion,
Mhm.
it's better at grasping people because their
Yeah,
branding was hate. You know, their branding was hate, whereas Harris was like, I want to bring everyone together. We don't want
yeah.
that. We don't want to bring everyone together.
Her being a Libra, look at her just trying to, you
You
know,
know,
consort with
she had
everyone.
a vision of harmony, and we're like, that's right.
No.
Remember the Matrix, right? Like the original Matrix was like a paradise, but humans hated it. So that's how
Yeah,
it became
like
like this like struggle fest of a
some
society.
people thrive off of chaos. Some people, there needs to be those below in order for them to feel okay. It's not enough just to be okay, right? You have to make sure that the people below
Mhm.
know that they are
But that's
below.
what America stands on, right? This is a country built on slavery.
Yeah,
So they love feeling like they're superior to
which we
someone
still
else.
ain't getting no reparations from. And
I mean, other groups are getting
other
reparations.
groups get reparations, but when it comes to black people, it's all so debatable when we have countless records of, I
Hmm.
can calculate. I'm bad at math, but I'll calculate the numbers to let you know how much you owe us.
Hmm. Yeah, this was really
Yeah,
disappointing.
this was tough. I mean, just kind of lets you know that America is just not ready,
Mhm.
and particularly, talking about Trump, where how he performed in his first term, um, but he inherited a decent state, right?
They
The
usually do. Republicans usually do.
Yes, you give it. Oh, the economy was so great when worked it out so that it would be great, and then you messed it up again.
Hmm.
So I don't know,
Yeah.
y'all. These are just, it doesn't really feel real to me what has happened.
No, it doesn't. Like I don't feel as bad as in 2016 because part of me was kind of like
Yeah,
expecting it.
a lot
So
of
I was
us are
like,
just jaded.
this country is really hateful. But they did say a lot of Democrats stayed home, which to me that goes back
Yeah.
to like, well, she did not mention this, so I'm just not gonna vote, or I'm gonna vote for like Cornel West, who's like always on the ballot. Like,
I'm not got time for no Cornell West.
you know,
My
um,
my thing is, we don't see the bigger picture ahead, where it's just like, this man cannot be a president. He cannot be the president again. Well, it's happening now. But even how they did this before, I felt like they prolonged Biden stepping down too long. So whoever was going to come into their place would only have a few months to campaign, as opposed
mhm,
to how long the Republicans have had it. So that's that. Um, Also, secondly, they didn't have a chance, because of such short notice. They didn't have a chance for a primary
mhm.
for them to actually choose. Honestly, I felt if the Dems fought with another um, melon deficient man, I definitely think
Hmm.
that things would be totally different.
It would have been. It would have been.
It
And
would
this
have been.
goes.
It was just too
Mhm.
much, too soon, and I think we definitely were banking on, we need change, and we can't have this man back in the White House for
The
cognitive
DNC.
reasons, for
Yeah.
just, and that overruled everything. You just
Hmm.
can't trust in people having common sense. I want a president that can form coherent sentences. Last night when Trump did, I don't know if it's an acceptance speech, but basically they knew they had this in the bag, and he spent a good amount of time just talking about Elon Musk and his rocket, um, something that he sent in outer space. I know we've spoken about that. He spoke about that. Um, I
Yeah.
was just trying to make sense of it all.
I. He's not. First of all, this man. If he, it's similar to Biden, right? Will he make it the 4 years?
Hmm.
That's number one. Number two, like he's not invested in this. He just wanted to win. Like he
He's
wanted to
not.
win
You could
and what it means.
even
He was not
like
in
the
it. Like he
second
was so
speech,
checked out. Well,
there was no joy. He was like, "Where's my Metamucil and my blanket?" He just wanted to chill out.
yeah,
Honestly, I mean, he wants to be out of jail.
yeah.
And
This.
speaking of jail, so sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Hmm.
Speaking of jail, do you think now that Trump is the president? You heard it first, everyone. You heard it first here at this how it ends podcast. I believe he's gonna pardon Diddy, and then it's gonna be two devils out here. I believe it. I
He would
believe it's gonna.
pardon. Does he even know who Diddy is? Oh no, they partied
Yes,
together. They
I'm
partied
sure they've
together.
crossed paths before. They definitely have. I'm
They
sure
partied
Diddy.
together. They partied together.
Yes, I'm sure he's on the Epstein roster.
Well, he
Like,
can't
and
pardon Diddy until he's on his way out, though. I think that's how the pardons work, or you could pardon someone at any time.
oh, I don't know. I thought you can do it anytime.
Oh, maybe you can. I thought it's like usually you hear of pardons like when people are like heading out the door.
No, no, it's
But
whenever the
he's supposed to
president.
be sentenced though. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, are they really gonna sentence him? Like, what's gonna
He
happen?
has. Oh, you mean Trump or
Yeah,
Diddy? Because there's
Trump.
so many.
Trump.
Trump.
Hmm.
I don't think. I think he only wanted to be president so that none of this stuff would stick. He's already been impeached twice. He's a felon running. I just, no
Only
one
in
can
this
tell
country
me.
could we vote for someone like
There's
that.
no
And
there is no way anyone with a hint of brown in them could get away with any of this. With any of this. And it just goes to show you at the end of the day, like, this is who's on top. The rules don't apply to us.
no, we're just gonna. It's 4 years. A lot can happen in 4 years,
A lot
but
can happen in 4 years.
we
So
just got to
I'm
keep
just,
keep trudging. People should vote in local elections. Vote in your local elections. Don't you gotta come out and vote. Like people just they
yes.
said people did not show up for Harris.
You know what?
And sorry, I it's because she's a black woman.
Yeah, because she's a black woman.
Mhm.
And
You can't tell me otherwise.
yeah, like, how do I put this? There's just a certain, we can only get but so far, because people know when we get in those positions what we can do. Specifically black women.
Mhm.
Specifically black women. What we can do. Even just look at with Barack Obama, as great as he is, right? We were calling on Michelle, like, is Michelle gonna run? Like, just black women, we in these positions, we do what we do. We handle business. And the
Mhm.
powers that be just do not want that. That's just too much progress. And even, unfortunately, some of us, even
Mhm.
women, don't want us there. You'd
Mhm.
rather trust, how old is Trump? 78, 79.
It looks
A
older to me.
79-year-old man who clearly there's signs of cognitive decline and even incontinence, to the point where there was like a pad where he was sitting. And again, it's not age shaming, because there's people that are an advanced age that still have their mind about them. But this man does not. Like, think about it. If something happens to him in that 4 years, JD Vance is going to be president. Do you want JD Vance to be a president?
They do. Like they do, which I don't, you know what? It's really weird how we're for these elections, these past couple of terms, like it's both sides are like petrified of the other ones. Like they just think like the world is going to end or something. It's not, you know, um, for Harris to reach where she reached, I think is really impressive. Like she
It
showed that she's
is.
competent. She's better than him in every single way.
Every single
Every
way.
single way. She's
Every
more
single way
competent.
possible.
Like she would have done a better job, but we don't want to give her that chance. We don't want to let her climb that high. But there will be, in our lifetime, we'll see it. Whether it's,
You think so before we're off of this earth? You think so?
I think before we're off
I
of
think
this
your
earth,
kids will. I
if it
don't know
doesn't,
if
if
I'll
it
be
doesn't,
long.
if it doesn't end, um, you know, I think so. And when you look at the demographics of the people who are voting for Trump, they're like Gen X boomers. Like they're the older demographic. They have, I mean, yes, no matter what age you are, you're part of society. Like, you should vote in your self interest, but you should also think of the people who are coming behind you, especially these boomers who like fucked it up for all of us. You
Yeah,
know?
it's like I'm glad y'all were able to buy a house off of the JC Penney catalog and pay $50 for it, and you can live off your pension and all that. But these are different times. We don't know by the time we get to a certain age if Social Security will still be around. We don't know where can you
And what's
afford to
wild is
live.
some of them have to go back into the workforce because Social Security
Yes,
is not enough.
yes. And so to tell people that, oh, go to school, get an education, then get a job. No, that's not guaranteed. Now you have to kind of have a partner.
Hmm.
Now you kind of have to have another side hustle and then a side hustle for the other side hustle
Yeah,
just to make it.
I know. Anything that sounds like a Social Security net, right? They're like against. They don't want to give people any money. They don't want to do any of this. Oh my, like Social Security is a safety net
Yeah.
that you're getting. Um, but it's got mines. F
Yeah.
you. So
Yeah.
and that's what it is.
Um
But you know what? Harris, while she didn't make it, she totally deserved to, 100%.
she
Um,
did. She did a
we
good job.
She did. She did it. She showed out. Like she was phenomenal,
She
right? Like
did.
all her ducks were in a row. But we all know it's not a meritocracy
Mhm.
in this country. We fail to see that. So we didn't show up for her. And I'm not you and I, but there's a huge chunk of the population that did not show up for her.
Yeah.
But we did have some other wins, right? So Delaware got its first Black and female senator,
Oh
um,
yeah.
and Maryland got its first Black senator. It feels weird to say first Black or first woman in 2024, but the election
Yeah.
shows this is why. So I think there are people who want to stop progress, but that you can't. Like they'll do everything they can, but
Yeah.
you can't.
It's gonna happen.
It's
What's
gonna
the
happen.
saying? The only thing that's inevitable in this world is change. So it's
Mhm.
gonna happen.
Change
There's
and death.
even a trans woman that was, I think, elected to the Senate,
Mm,
and that was like the first like trans woman.
awesome. Yeah.
So
So it's gonna
progress is
happen.
happening, but you know,
Progress is happening. It's not as fast as we'd want, but it's happening. I'm hopeful for the generations that are coming up, unless they're. I mean, uh, you know. But then again, sometimes your parents, your family, they shape you. So while I'm raising my
yeah,
kid to be fair and all things
It,
great and not hate people based on
look,
certain
girl,
things.
there's a lot out there. Okay, like
Yeah.
you can do your best, but I don't know how them other little kids are raised
We don't know.
and being around your kids.
I think she should run again, or she should run again in 4 years. Or you're like, no, or she should just rest. No.
She should rest. She should rest. Yeah, she should rest.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that we're just not ready yet. It's going to take some time. I think what's going to happen, you heard it here first, is that, I mean, of course, Trump can't run again.
Hopefully, he's got the
He might just
Supreme.
do away with term limits. I'm just going to be
Was that did that
president
have to be
forever.
did that have to be ratified by all states? Is that in the or term limits in the Constitution?
Girl, does it even matter? They'll find a way. Like I don't
Yeah.
trust the government. I don't trust, not that I did so much before, but I think the electoral college is crap.
Mm,
I think the system needs to change. If that was the case, Hillary would have won because she won the
yeah.
popular vote. I'm just really curious the mind of a Trumper. Now, I realize that a former jump off that I had, I don't call him a jump off. He was a friend, you know.
Hmm.
But he's a Trump supporter. And he made it look like this. I was very shocked. He's a sweetie pie. I kind of challenged it a little bit, but not really. People allowed to think what they think, but I just want to do a little
Yeah.
reality testing. Like, how do you think this is going to benefit you? For me, the only way I could see it is that you're going against a black woman. You're not really for a white man, but you're going against a black woman. That's the way I see it.
When it comes to some black men, I think there's this anger towards
Yeah.
black women. There's this like hate. I don't know if it's it's what the oppressor managed to accomplish. I love that saying where they were like when it comes to like the oppressor doesn't have to like raise a finger, like they do their job and then the oppressed sort of they continue on that legacy and
Yes, girl. Look, that's a whole other podcast. Okay? Because that's real. Like,
mhm.
it gets passed down in our DNA. Even
Yeah,
like, and I just
trauma.
think that, I mean, technically, you would think that we already had a black president, a black man president. So, it's our turn. But no,
Yeah.
it's kind of a crabs in the barrel.
Hmm.
I will say that the stuff that was being spewed out, but actually the numbers turned out that black men release actually did end up supporting. Probably
Hmm.
after they got shamed by Obeezy. Okay, Obeezy was like, absolutely not. You're stupid. But he was saying the hard part out loud, where some men just don't want to see a woman in power. Some don't see a black, especially a
Hmm.
blackish
Hmm.
woman in power. And so
Yeah.
I was watching actually one of Funky Dunny. I have weird feelings about watching him, but he was saying he didn't realize how hard women have it until now. And it's like, really, sir? Do you know what's going on in the world? Do you know how hard this woman had to work? She actually was working with stuff, like a lot of stuff against her. First of all, starting off like campaigning later.
Hmm.
And look how hard she had to work for him to still be in the lead. It wasn't like a smoking lead,
To
but it
put
doesn't
no
make any
effort in,
sense.
to put zero, like he put like towards he put zero effort in.
Nothing, so like he just went up there and just said words after a while. He just wanted a rally just to have people around. It just wasn't making any sense. The words, this man's words weren't making sense. And Fox would do the best they could with like sanity washing his stuff. But even then there were times they gave up too.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it just goes to show like what we're working against. No matter how hard we try, no matter how hard we
Yeah.
work, we can have the credentials, but
The party of Christians is the most hateful party there is. But to me, that's
Mm.
just when it
You
comes to
saying it, Soph.
Christians.
You saying it.
Yeah, they're incredibly hateful. They love that thy fellow man if it's they look like them, act like them, have their same, beliefs. But anyone else, F you, you know.
Well, you know how I feel like Christianity is a tool to oppress people of color,
Oh
especially black
yeah.
people.
I
That's how I
wholeheartedly
feel.
believe in that saying, religion is opium for the masses.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Even I went to like, a parochial school, Catholic school, and they were saying how, religion is man made.
hmm
We don't I mean, this stuff is nice, but we don't need all this stuff to connect to a higher power. But Christianity just seems to be like at the top of the list.
hmm
In terms of like, hey, imperialism and just my way is the right way, and there's just so much hypocrisy within the religion
The
in itself.
whole Bible is just a big old ball of hypocrisy,
Bible, like, if you just look at the
contradiction.
Bible as a Zane novel, I know that's hella disrespectful, but I took a
Mhm.
Bible as English class in undergrad. And
There's which book is
interesting.
that? Is it I don't know if I don't think it's a Song of Solomon, but
Song of Solomon,
is
that
it? That
yeah, that's
spicy,
it's
steamy.
a little spicy there. The Song of Solomon, it's spicy. I
Uh,
get into it.
yeah, but I mean, women get no respect in there.
They don't.
No.
So what can we take away from this election, from these results?
They weren't the results that I wanted.
Mm.
But I think for her to start when she started to have all those roadblocks and still manage to get all the votes that she got, I think is impressive. She did a phenomenal job, and
She did.
she's an inspiration to all girls, especially black girls, like to see themselves like I can run for president, you know.
Yeah.
And like I'm around these kids a lot because of my 13-year-old. Like they're like whatever I want, I can get. Right? They already have that high
Yeah.
ideal and expectation, and to see her where she's at, I think it's, I think it's great. Like, and I think we'll just continue to build on that. Yes, she didn't win, but we have two black women senators now that we've never had before. I mean, we used to have just four, now it's up to six. So
Okay.
it's slow progress. Progress is slow, but it's gonna come. It's gonna continue chipping away.
So your takeaways full of hope.
I don't want to be in. I don't want to be how I was in 2016.
Mhm.
Like I don't want that party to take that away from me. Like it's 4 years. This is not the end. I mean, it
Yeah.
could have like there. Yes, there are going to be some major impacts, but there's we could still make change. There's still other ways to help enact change, especially vote at the local level. Like vote in all of these like local
Yes.
things. Like that's where a lot of that's how someone like Margie Taylor Greene gets to where she's at.
Oh my goodness, she's so awful.
When you don't
She
vote
can
at
vote
that
against
level, she
people.
just slides right in. Like just vote.
Vote against people.
hmm
All right. So if you have a message of hope, I
Yeah.
am actually pretty scared. Um, Only because I could see when you voted when you didn't know, but now you know, and you clearly see what's going on,
hmm
and so to have that much hate, but to have that ideal that you have to rule
hmm
supreme, that it's to your own detriment. I'm trying to understand. Um, and it saddens me. It's cutting off your nose to spite your face, because we're going to suffer. This
Yeah.
man is ill equipped. he's ill-equipped, and the plan has been laid out, and
Mm-hmm.
you vote for this man based off of feelings when there's things that are printed in black and white about what he plans to do.
I mean, we're gonna find out.
There's,
I'm not saying I'm not
just no
fearful, but
education, no education for the babies. And you want to know why he doesn't care about the Department of Education? Because he had a daddy that gave him money. He went to private schools. That's why he doesn't care about the Department of Education.
but
That's
that's
why he doesn't care
intentional.
about grocery prices,
He
because this
doesn't.
man doesn't know how to grocery shop. He's never had to do it. Like,
But the
what are
more
you expecting from
uneducated,
this man?
yeah, that's true.
This man, particularly black men that voted for him, you're voting for a man that does not want to hold police accountable when they hurt people, but yet you vote for him. You talk about, okay, there's no black agenda or whatever. No one's ever gonna come out right say there's a black agenda. No one's ever gonna say that, right? But you have to think about certain things that do impact black people, and just you wanting to be a melanin deficient rich man so much that you're not realizing that you are voting in your own demise. And maybe not you specifically, but you got a cousin that's on the corner. You got
Hmm.
like, I just feel like America's just very stupid.
America is
Very
very stupid.
stupid. And I
But
don't
let's
know how
not
we
get
can be
it twisted.
respected.
Smart people voted for him too.
That's true. I don't think they're smart though. I don't think they're smart. There's no way possible that you can hear Kamala speak and hear Trump speak and objectively say that person makes sense. No, you're not smart at all. I'm saying that very clearly. You are not smart if you vote for Trump.
We don't think so, but there's this conception that it's all of these uneducated people who are voting for him, which is not the case.
No, it's not. There's people that definitely, like, you want to align with the 1%, but you're not the 1%. Like, I
Hmm.
just don't.
I don't understand it. I think it just comes down to like hate. Like this is
Yeah,
a
no, but
very it's a very hateful
yeah, no one's saying that. So if you calling it intelligence, it's not intelligence. It's hate overriding
it is.
objectivity. It's hate overriding
Hmm.
like just what would make sense.
Yeah. And there's this, when it comes to there's this thing that they're pushing that somehow we're trying to replace the white race. They're not saying it, they're not campaigning on that, but that's the message that you always see. And they're like, we always want to be on top. And if you always want to be on top, you don't want to go with the party that has a black or black and Asian woman as the main ticket.
Yeah.
There's always this, oh, it's DEI, this, everything. If you're not white and you get hired for something, all of a sudden it's a DEI hire. We are overqualified for a lot of these positions.
Most of them. So I people act like DEI is like you're coming in with no kind of credentials and you're just hired all bald
Hmm.
all up and through. It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't. Um, but that's what they think. Like anytime something goes wrong, and if it's a black woman, a black man, a POC in power, like, oh, it was clearly it was DEI, right? Um, I don't know, like Silicon Valley Bank, when was it? Like last year, it went under. They had one black man on the board. One black man on the board. Guess what? It was because of DEI this happened. Like some idiot wrote an article. It was because they were so too focused on DEI.
It's crazy.
It is. But don't leave the country. People are like, I'm gonna leave the country.
I mean, girl, I do have my trip to Bali, so I just
Mm.
might not come back. I could only survive like a year or two out there. Whatever,
Yeah.
but yeah. I'm just interested to see. It's almost like this is life, like it's happening, but I don't feel like it is happening, and I feel like I'm a spectator.
Hmm.
Like it just doesn't seem
It hasn't sunk in yet,
It
but
hasn't sunk in.
once healthcare quadruples, it's already crazy as it is because his whole thing is trying to dismantle um, Obamacare, which
It
is the
is.
Affordable Care Act. Like that's
It
his
is.
whole thing. So let's see what happens. Things continue to increase. Um, he loves Russia, so Ukraine
Yeah.
is probably
What's
like,
gonna happen with Ukraine in them and child, it's gonna be a hot ass mess.
it's gonna be a hot ass mess.
It's gonna be a hot ass mess. We middle class, we're right in the middle, but
It is gonna be a hot ass. You know what? She should not run the next term because it's gonna be a hot ass mess
it's
that
gonna
we're
be a
gonna
hot
want her
ass
to come
mess,
and
and then you're
fix
gonna
it.
blame
No,
it on the black woman.
no.
Absolutely, for not fixing
Mm,
all the ills. Just how with this, with this campaign, it's like, oh, you were vice president. Look what's happening under the administration now, and it's like she's not the president, but you actually had Trump that was the president. I mean, all of a sudden it's like, oh, the vice president isn't the president.
mhm.
So I just don't understand that argument.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting because
Yeah, this is gonna be a hot
everything
mess,
is red.
girl.
Everything is red, but we
Girl,
just gonna do what we do and keep on trucking.
just take care of yourself, because if there's a next like pandemic, like I just pray in the next 4 years is not another pandemic. There's not another like financial collapse.
Mm,
I just don't see anyone in Trump's administration doing anything that one doesn't make them look good. So definitely giving the stimulus checks helped him look good. Um,
mhm.
but
Well, he
yeah,
has he has Herschel Walker on something related to defense. Hmm.
yeah, girl. Talking about he's gonna bring Elon in. No, absolutely not. Okay, absolutely not. Elon can stay right where he is. He can't even run Twitter. No shade, but shade.
All the shade.
All of the shade. Okay.
Yeah, but girl,
Yeah.
we'll be fine. We're
Yeah.
always we'll be fine.
Yeah, we will be.
It's gonna be scary and rough and just
His
feel
son.
all the feels, but
Well, y'all. Um, there really isn't much to say because we're still trying to formulate the words.
mhm.
Just burn some sage, y'all. Hold on to your Bible.
The Bible. You should not hold
I
on to
don't
your
know,
Bible.
Quran, something, girl. You need something to believe in.
Mm,
Because I don't know if God wanted this. I believe it's the work of the devil. Mark my words. Diddy's gonna be out.
mm. Well, we don't know the
Or
devil's story. We only know God's story. So,
that's
and
true.
his story is not great. And what we've done with his story is not great. All right. We justified slavery
That is very
with the Bible.
true.
We went into these countries to preach and convert them to Christianity. So
Yeah.
it's not a tool for good.
Imperialism at its finest.
Hmm. It is not a tool for good. So,
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, if you like the
hmm.
vibe, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah. Take care.
All right, till next time, y'all. Bye.
Bye.